Latest science news, Roman roads, bear attacks, Comet 3I/Atlas updates. Refresh. November 7, 2025 T 11 hours 46 minutes and 42.983 seconds Z. What have the Romans ever done for us? Good morning, science fans. Trending news writer Patrick, https://www.livescience.com/author/Patrick-Pester, here to kick off another day of blog coverage. I want to start with a story about roads. Hear me out. Researchers have created a new map of the Roman Empire, revealing that the Roman road network was twice as large as previously thought. The researchers made their discovery by looking at smaller, unnamed roads, and not just the main highways to and from the capital. So how big does the new atlas reveal the Roman Empire to have been around its maximum extent in AD 150? Nearly 186,000 miles, 300,000 kilometers, stretching from Europe to the Near East and North Africa. You can read the full story here, https://www.livescience.com/archaeology/Roman road network was twice as large as previously thought. New mapping project finds, and explore the map for yourself on itinerary, https://itiner-e.org. November 6, 2025 T 17 hours 3 minutes and 39.658 seconds Z. A quantum leap for superconductivity? What do you do after building the world's most powerful quantum computer? https://www.livescience.com/quantum-computing. Use it to unlock the secrets of room temperature superconductors. https://www.livescience.com/physics-mathematics/room-temperature-the-holy-grail-of-physics, of course. That's at least the plan according to a fresh announcement by Quantinuum. https://www.livescience.com/technology/computing/ths is easily the most powerful quantum computer on Earth. Scientists unveil Helios, a record-breaking quantum system, a $10 billion company that claims to have made the world's most powerful quantum processing unit. Equipped with 98 physical qubits made of barium ions, the machine, called Helios, can supposedly crunch through specialist problems it would take a traditional supercomputer the total wattage of a jet-spewing black hole to solve. The researchers set Helios to simulate aspects of the Fermi-Hubbard model, a framework that may yield clues into making room-temperature superconductors a reality. It could all be revolutionary if it pans out. But stay seated, it definitely isn't our first rodeo when it comes to superconductor hype. https://www.livescience.com/physics-mathematics/did scientists really create a room temperature superconductor? Not so fast, experts say. Quantinuum's setup is, in fairness, incomparably more sophisticated than the DIY setups of LK99 hobbyists. https://www.wired.com/story/inside-the-DIY-race-to-replicate-LK-99. November 6, 2025 T 14 hours 48 minutes and 57.53 seconds Z. Tipping is not optional. The climate change news is coming thick and fast this week as world leaders prepare for the UN's COP30 climate summit starting in Brazil on Monday, November 10. One of the big topics heading into this year's summit is tipping points, potential points of no return within key Earth systems beyond which lasting changes to the environment occur. I've put together an explainer with everything you need to know about Earth's tipping points, which include the collapse of polar ice sheets, thawing of carbon-trapping permafrost and widespread forest dieback. The thing I found most alarming about tipping points is that, because we can only detect them on longer timeframes, we may have already passed some. But on the bright side, climate scientists maintain that we can still avoid the worst impacts of climate change. We just have to cut emissions. Simple, right? Check out the full story here, https://www.livescience.com/planet-Earth/climate change/global warming is forcing Earth's systems toward doom loop tipping points. Can we avoid them? November 6, 2025 T 13 hours 35 minutes and 15.33 seconds Z. China to win AI race? A statement from NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang. pic.twitter.com/xwx540yjv. You can read the FT's reporting here, https://www.ft.com/content/532952766-BA8D-4EC2-B0-081E73B3BA43, but just to warn you, it is behind a paywall. CNBC's free-to-view report of his comments is here. https://www.cnbc.com// Jensen Huang says China will win the AI race before clarifying in a statement 10 Nvidia Trump 11 HTML. November 5, 2025 T20 hours 12 minutes and 22.751 seconds Z. Maya ruin was actually a gigantic cosmogram. Or perhaps we should hold off on the AI creativity think pieces until we find a chatbot that can do this. Archaeologists have published a new study suggesting that Iguala Phoenix, a 3,000-year-old site in what is now southeastern Mexico, was actually a gigantic representation of the Maya people's cosmology. https://www.livescience.com/archaeology/massive year-old Maya Sata in Mexico depicts the cosmos on the order of the universe study claims. Working together to build the 5.6 by 4.7 mile, 9 by 7.5 kilometer site may have been a celebrated communal activity, the researchers suggest, similar to the construction of Stonehenge. November 5, 2025 T18 hours 55 minutes and 7.458 seconds Z. Stranded Chinese astronauts. Harry Baker, https://www.livescience.com/author/Harry-Baker, one of Live Science's senior staff writers, has just typed, a story about 3 Chinese astronauts, takenauts, who are now stranded in space. https://www.livescience.com/space/space exploration/3 Chinese astronauts stranded in space after debris hits their return capsule, after their return capsule was struck. The culprit? A suspected piece of space junk that hit the capsule just hours before its planned departure earlier today, forcing takenauts Wang Jie, Chen Zhongrui and Chen Dan to extend their time aboard China's Tiangong space station. Officials are still investigating exactly what happened. It's currently unclear how much damage the debris caused or when the 3 takenauts, who have been living on the space station since April 24, will be able to return home. November 5, 2025 T16 hours 24 minutes and 29.174 seconds Z. So long 1.5 C. Hi everyone, it's Patrick. https://www.livescience.com/author/Patrick-Pester, trending news writer, here taking the blog baton from Ben. One of the big science stories circulating as of yesterday, November 4, is that the United Nations has announced Earth will speed past humanity's 1.5 degrees Celsius. https://www.livescience.com/planet Earth/climate change/ It's official, the world will speed past the climate threshold in the next decade and says 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit climate change target. The United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) report found that global average temperatures will likely exceed 1.5 C of warming before 2035, and reiterated calls to slash greenhouse gas emissions, which trap heat in the atmosphere. In 2015, world leaders signed the Paris Agreement, https://www.livescience.com/Paris-Agreement, an international treaty that promised to limit global warming to preferably below 1.5 C and well below 2 C, 3.6 F. The findings of the latest report highlight world leaders' failure to address climate change, but its findings are not unexpected. Ben covered a report in June that found greenhouse gas emissions could exhaust Earth's carbon budget. https://www.livescience.com/planet Earth/climate change/ Humanity could be just years away from crossing a dire climate threshold, report warns, in as little as 3 years, while last month, I covered a similarly grim report documenting record carbon dioxide, CO2, increases. https://www.livescience.com/planet-earth/climate-change/co2-levels-reach-record-new-high-locking-and more-global. Warming. The new report comes as many world leaders prepare for the UN's COP30 climate summit in Brazil next week. For reference, the Paris Agreement was adopted at COP21. Climate scientists often stress that it's not too late to reverse course and prevent further warming.